Well, good evening, everybody. I'm back. Peter's not able to come tonight. He's tested that dreaded positive. He sends his apologies for tonight. I don't intend to try to live up to his high standards. So welcome, everybody, tonight. We've got a couple of visitors in the room that I know of. If I could ask the visitors to stand, and if you could just introduce yourself and just tell us what car you've got, please.
A Toyota Prado.
Well done.
2005.
Welcome tonight. Thank you. And somebody at the back, this is your 15 seconds of fame.
Hey, I'm Liz and I also have a Toyota Prado.
Oh, well done. Congratulations. Thanks for coming and welcome. And I'd like to introduce our guest speakers tonight, and they're from a company called Khufu Drawers. But I'd like to introduce Giles Matthews, who's the design manager from Umhauser.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Giles Matthews. I am the design manager at Khufu Drawer Systems. And Khufu Drawer Systems is one of three brands of the Umar Products company. Umar Products is from Geelong, based in Geelong, and is the brainchild of Chris Umar, who you may know of, who ran and owned Umar caravan and camping stores in Geelong and in Warrnambool and serviced the Surf Coast. This is a new refresh of that brand, so servicing four-wheel driving, but not necessarily through a retail bricks and mortar store. So we're selling through dealerships. And tonight I'm going to give you a really in-depth look at the Khufu Drawer System. I noticed some of you are here from the Geelong chapter. We had the great privilege of presenting to the Geelong chapter of the Toyota Land Cruiser Club a few months ago, and that was really a great experience, and we're lucky enough to be here tonight. So thank you. Thank you, Ian. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Alison. Thanks, Sandra. I'm not sure she's here tonight. She's online. Hi there to everyone online. If you do have a question, pop your hand up and I'll repeat the question for those who are listening at home and watching at home, because it'll give great insight. You're probably thinking about the question and it'll help to grow the conversation as well. So this is the Khufu Drawer System installed into a 300 series GR Sport. Starting from here, you can see the long extension of the drawer system. And we call it a Khufu a system because it is a modular quick release system. So they're interrelating drawers of different depths and different heights. And so you can mix and match them around. And so this is our flagship installation. You can get a touch and feel after the presentation, where we've got a sample drawer over there with some new products to show off. In this configuration, you can see that there's a small drawer on the top right-hand side, a little bit larger drawer on the bottom right-hand side, and then quite a large drawer on the left-hand side. And we'll get into greater detail about the specs of those drawers and the features and benefits. You can see that they've each got some headlights on them. We call them task lights. So at night time, they really help to light up your campsite. They're actually 300 lumens each. So you've got a lot of light power coming out of that drawer system when you're at the campsite late at night. This is a full extension drawer. So at 950 millimeters, right up to the second row seats, you're getting maximum use of that cargo space in the back of your drawer. And we've decked it out with a lot of gear and equipment that you might have in soft cell packing. Here we are at the top of the Barwon River, taking some photographs. It was a nice day, so we thought we'd get out there and take some photographs. This, unfortunately, is a Ford Ranger. I couldn't remove that photograph, but it shows the versatility of the system, where you can take it out of one vehicle and put it in another vehicle. You don't have to have 3 drawers. You can have 2, you can have 1, you can have 5, you can have 6. So you're not limited to having what everyone else has. You can have your system customized to what you want. And you can see that we've got tie down equipment, and we've tied down the motocross bike to the top of the drawer systems, because they are fully sealed and they are load rated. So that's a really big benefit for some people that like versatility. One of our other brands on the top of that vehicle, we're the national distributor for iCamper rooftop tents. Some of you might have rooftop tents on top of your Toyota. We are the national Australian distributor of iCamper. I was hanging from a crane. No, this is our Geelong factory. So rest assured, these are manufactured in Australia, just down the road from Geelong. We've been busily building an order for our US distributor. So we've just signed on a US distributor, filling containers for them. So it's a really positive story for us that we're now exporting to the world. Some of the features and benefits listed out for the Khufu draw system are the patented catch and click system, which I'll show you at the end of the presentation. That allows us to remove the draw system from the mounting platform. The mounting platform I'll describe later on fastens and securely attaches the draw systems to the vehicle. Australia has one of the safest design standards in the world for vehicle design, and that means we also have to pass those rigorous design standards. The Khufu draw system is crash test rated, so you can be safe. You can be rest assured in the knowledge that it's safe to attach to your vehicle. Some of the other features there we'll go over. It's all weather sealed, it's UV stable. So no dust is getting in, no moisture is getting in, sit out in the sun for a long time. So it's all okay there. The task lighting, which we've seen, it's got internal lighting as well. We'll turn that on a bit later. It's got incremental locking, which it's hard to explain, but when you see it in the flesh, it's really, really great, which means that when you park on a hill and you open your draw system, the drawers don't run away from you. You can get to the first locking system, get the stuff out what you need, and then close the drawer. It's not going to run out away from you, especially if you're loaded up to the 120 kilos inside. So you can put a lot of equipment inside. So you want it to be safe on a hillside. Because often when you need them the most to get your cargo or recovery gear out, that's when you're stressed, you're flustered, and you can hurt yourself. So these sorts of safety features are really handy. Another great feature for those that are thinking about installing them into SUVs and wagons is that you don't have to drill into your vehicle. You don't have to make a hole in your vehicle. You do have to remove the third row seats. The platform sits down, and we'll get a little bit of an insight into that. But the great benefit is you're using the existing mounting points for those third row bolt holes. You go straight into them, which means they're really secure. And if you ever want to remove the system, quickly remove the drawers, unbolt the system, and you can put your seats back in if you want to sell the vehicle or take the grandkids on a drive. So let's get into the drawers themselves. At the moment, we're manufacturing 6 different sizes at our Geelong facility, and this is the 180. We call this as the 180 height, the 180 millimeters tall. And this is showing the 950 millimeters depth. And we have a standardized width of 510 millimeters. And that allows us to have 2 draw systems side by side within the wheel arch of most standard vehicles, thanks to 2 horses' asses. So you all know the story. Why is cars the way they are? Because that's the width of 2 horses' asses. Always gets more of a laugh at an equestrian club. What I wanted to say about this is that a lot of people ask for different width drawers, and usually they're Land Rover owners, and we tell them to get stuffed. What we do say is that this was designed, the whole system was designed around a Land Cruiser 200 series because it was the most versatile vehicle in the country and the best-selling vehicle for the 4-wheel driver. So we designed the whole system around that. So you, as Land Cruiser owners, you can be confident that it's going to fit the first time. And so 2 of these drawers fit well within the wheel trim of the wheel arches. And all you need to do is take the third row seats out of the rear cargo space. So you can see there the task lights, their LED output. You've got the chrome handle and you've got the light button on the left. On the right-hand side, you have a key barrel lock, which is a secure, individually coded. You can have them keyed alike. So one key will do all of your drawers, regardless of how many drawers you have. So if you've got a Ford Ranger, God help you, you have a key for that one and a key for the ones inside your Cruiser. Here are the lights on. You can see the LED strips inside lighting up inside. These may not look as bright as the outside lights, but believe you me, that at night time you don't want them at full glare. So we dull them down so they're really dim, and they will last all weekend if you leave them on. We have a non-slip rubber top, and then we have a standard Euro L-track mounting system, which means you can put hardware L-track just like a roof rack. So you can slide hardware in there and tie down equipment. So you saw we can tie down all sorts of different equipment like mountain bikes and ATVs. And so the whole draw system has a load rating of 1 ton. So you can put 1 ton of dispersed load over a square meter. So that means you really can throw anything at this. It's great for tradespeople. It's great for people that want to throw them about and really treat them in a robust manner. So for tradespeople, technical trades, throwing them over the dunes, that sort of thing. we are. So you can see there, each system comes with a power bank, so they're independently powered. There's no need to terminate it to the vehicle. So it wouldn't be a quick release system if you had to unwire it or disconnect the wiring every time. That's at full extension, the 950 millimeter draw at 100% extension. So you're actually getting it all the way back. So that cargo that you had right up against the back of the second row seats is now right in front of you at the tailgate or at the rear of the drawer. So it really gives you easy access to that equipment you once thought you had to reach in or get up into the tailgate to get to. Still the 180 drawer, lots of literage inside this. This is 40 litres of storage inside that drawer. This drawer is 40 kilos. And this is the 280 drawer. So it's slightly taller, 100 mils taller. This is our most versatile and most popular drawer in the range because it allows extra room up to the headspace of the cabin to put things like fridge slides, fridges, eskies, extra equipment. So it's that mid-sized drawer. And it's what people are most commonly familiar with because other drawer systems are of that size. Same features and benefits across the entire range of the premium drawers, full extension, lots of load carrying capacity, lots of space, fully carpet lined, removable carpet on the interior. So if you do spill something, you can take it out, hose it down. Dividers come as standard. So those dividers actually are movable in 50 millimeter increments. So if you have something really particular you want to keep stowed away and keep safe or easy access at the front or the rear, it's not going to move about. And you can customize your installation to suit your needs out on the track. We think it's perfect for all sorts of trades and equipment and professionals. We sell a lot to surveyors who have very expensive optical equipment. They find it really safe and secure. So this is the big Bertha of our drawer system range. It's the 460 millimeter tall drawer. So you'll notice that the 180 and the 280 stacked up make that level height if you have them alongside of each other. And so that means you can mix and match them and create these different levels and heights for your drawer system. Now, this drawer holds a lot of stuff. So this is 150 litres capacity in this drawer and it's only 950 millimetres deep. So if you think about our 1.4 metre drawer, that's almost 300 litres of storage in the back of the ute. Or if we'll get to this really interesting build later on in the presentation, where we remove the second row seats and the third row seats and we put a 1.4 metre drawer in a Land Cruiser 200 series, and it makes for a very serious install, which we're really proud of. Again, full extension, and you'll see the Kufu handle there showing all lights are on. We've lowered the side trim level, so even at the high lift point of a couple of inches lift on your wheels, you can still get into the drawer. It's not full height, so you're actually reaching over. So we've thought of a few different things to allow for better access. And so for people that are interested in trades and making full use of their drawer systems across both recreation and their day-to-day work, all the pack-out kits, so standard Festo tools, Milwaukee tools, King Chrome toolboxes all fit inside this. And you've got those movable dividers, which mean you've got a lot of storage space. Key lockable, so no one's getting in. Even if they put a brick through your window, they're not going to take your tools. So that's one of the great benefits of the Kufu drawer system. And they can't get into the catch and click system because once that drawer is shut, you can't get into the catch and click system. So we'll get to that later. Here is the range as we've designed it. So I'm surprised I'm not grey because it took a long time to design all those models, but the system is repeatable. So once we got one right, we did it all for all the other sizes. So you can see if you've got a long bed truck, we've got a 1700 millimeter drawer coming for you. We're starting to prepare for manufacture for the US because they really want those drawer systems. You can imagine in their big trucks, they're going to want them. We're actually manufacturing those other sizes at the moment, so the 950 and the 1400. So we're manufacturing those sizes in the red at the moment in Geelong. Now let's get to the fun bit about how it attaches to the vehicle, because this is what opens up the world of possibilities for accessories and systems. And tonight you're very lucky to be the first people in the world to see the Kufu quick release fridge slide. So no one else has seen it. I finished off the prototype today, popped it in the car and drove here straight away. So it's the world's first quick release fridge slide, so which means it will fit into the Kufu catch and click system. So if you don't want the fridge slide in on the weekend, you want to take some other equipment, You can take the fridge slide out. You're not locked into having it screwed down or fastened to your vehicle. If you want to put another drawer in its place, you can take that fridge slide out and put it in, all by the catch brackets and the click brackets. You can see here on the top, the catch brackets have a horseshoe shaped ramp up in, which aligns and catches the base of the drawer, which has the corresponding tabs which slot into those positions. And in the click brackets, you can see that there's holes on all sides of that corresponding tongue at the bottom. So underneath the drawer base, which I'll show you later at the end of this presentation, you'll see that there are tabs and pins which provide the catch and click. This is the crash rated, globally patented system. So we're not about to change it, and we're not about to upgrade it or change it so you ever are out of the system. So once you're in the system, it's never going to change. And here we get into a Land Cruiser build, which I know you guys have been waiting for. We've taken out the second row seats in this 200 series. We've taken out of the saddle brackets on the floor, so we've got a flat floor in this 200 series. We've pre-assembled the mounting platform on the right-hand side, which is essentially some rails, some aluminium cross rails, and some steel brackets running longitudinally, so front to back. They act as a runway for the drawer system because you're removing it all the time. You're taking it in and out. I want my fridge slide in, no, I want my tools in, or I want my camping equipment in. So they act as a runway, so they don't damage your vehicle. They don't damage your carpet. So everything stays pristine in the vehicle because that's what's important to people, not the drawer systems, it's the vehicle, right? And so then you can see the catch and clicks brackets are attached to those cross rails. Pre-assembled on your garage floor, your driveway floor, they go into the vehicle, they bolt down into the existing floor mounting holes of where the third row seats are. Takes about 20 minutes for someone that's good with their hands. Lots of YouTube videos if you're willing to take it on for yourself, or you can go to a dealer and have them do it for you. The finished assembly looks like this with our trim that comes up to the rear tailgate edge to cap it off. And you can see that it's low profile enough so that it's not going to get in the way. And when the drawers aren't in there, you can put existing other equipment in there like luggage, all sorts of things. You're not going to damage it, all steel and aluminium. So how do you stack them up? Well, it's just the same system repeated on top. So we call it the stacking kit. And here's yours truly installing one in this 300 series. All it is attaching the rails and the catch and click brackets to the top of the previous drawer. They're all sub-flush, so you can't see them. They hide away. And so when you attach the drawer, you slide it in, and there's some pins on the front that correlate to the click bracket to the front. And when you shut the drawer, they're hidden. You can't get into them. So they're locked and secure. You lock it with the key, and you can't get into it. Here's a quick description of how it fits into utes. Same system, slightly different brackets, just because there's a different challenges and problems to solve here. Drill some bolt holes into the tub. Same rails. I'll just go back one notch so you can see that if you're interested at all. So you've got those same runway brackets, and then you've got the same cross rails, and now you're bolting through the vehicle. Same sort of procedure is involved. Let's get back to the good stuff. So this is the 300 series again. And here we have an install into the Max Liner promotional ute. So we were very pleased that this went around New South Wales late last year to promote their new range of tub liners. And so we were lucky enough to get our drawer system in there. You can also see the iCamper rooftop tent. Just a bit of shameless self-promotion there. So we have a lot of crossover industries. One I failed to mention is firearm storage there. So because the Kufu system is safe and secure when the drawer is shut with a key lock and you can't get into it and you can't remove the drawer, it means it's perfect for people that are transporting really sensitive equipment and critical equipment such as firearms. So as you know, Australia has very stringent gun laws, and you must do everything in your power to secure your firearms when you're traveling. We think the Kufu drawer system is possibly the best way to transport firearms in the country, if not the world. We'll get into our US trip in a few slides' time. People were literally amazed that we'd put so much thought into the Kufu system, and why hadn't the Americans thought of it, seeing as they're so big on gun safety. We thought it was a nice shot just outside the factory. Looks like we're out on the duck hunting field. But you can see the power of those lights there shining bright at dawn. Here is a recent, we'll get into some customer builds now. So we always keep track of our customer builds. Here is a recent customer build we did for a client of ours based out at Halls Gap. He does a lot of rock climbing and emergency recovery. So he's got a lot of rigging equipment, specialty tackle equipment. So block and tackle and that sort of stuff. Really expensive stuff, needs to be safe and secure and without getting snagged or nicked or cut or something like that. And so we did a custom trim fit out, and these are 2 big drawers because bang for buck, you're going to get best storage capacity out of bigger drawers. If you're buying small drawers, the cost difference between a small drawer and a big drawer and a set of big drawers is negligible. It's only a couple of $100 between a small drawer and a big drawer because you're buying into a system. It's a system approach, right? So best bang for buck is to buy big drawers. So this is fully trimmed out. And he got extra dividers inside because he's got a lot of equipment to divide up. This next customer build is the most interesting one, and I think we'll spend a little bit of time discussing this one. This is for a club member of the Geelong chapter called John Price. You may know him. Excellent. John came to us with a very specific request, and then we said, well, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? Because it's not like existing drawer systems where you're locked into having 2 drawers side by side this high and you're done. That's all you get. Because you can do things that you can't do with other drawer systems. So John's imagination went wild. He completely disregarded his wife's best advice, forgot about the grandkids and went big. And so what we did is we did a custom bracket specifically for John, but now it's in production for us because other people want it. What's happening here is we're removing the 3rd row seats. We're removing the 2nd row seats. We're putting in a custom bracket set at the 2nd row front seat mounting point, and we're putting a 1.7 meter mounting platform from the rear tailgate right up to the 2nd row seat wheel well. So you can see that's where the wheel well starts. And then on the bottom, you can see here on the left, we have a shorter drawer mounting platform, and at the rear, we have a longer drawer mounting platform, but the front is still the same. So the drawers will all match and be flush at the rear when you open up the tailgate. On the left-hand side, that's a short drawer, the same as we have over here in the Mulgrave room. And on the right-hand side, we have the 1.4 meter. And so John had some really big plans in sight, and he wanted to put his fridge at the rear, which is novel because it would be going out the passenger rear door. So really quite a good idea, really, where you're not wasting space by having a fridge out the back where you have to have a heavy fridge slide. He doesn't have a fridge slide. It stays static. The door opening is large enough to have a really big fridge at that door opening. So all you need to do is open it up and you've got full access. You don't need to have a slide to slide it out. And he's got huge capacity of storage there. So we'll get into the video images there. So now you can see he's got the 460 by 950 on the left-hand side. And then 2 1400 millimeter drawers, 1.4 meter drawers. He's got the 280 on top, got the 180 on the bottom, and a flush bed on top. So that means you've got heaps of flat surface on the top for extra equipment. And as I said, it's all fully sealed and load rated. So it doesn't matter what you put on top, nothing's going to happen. You can tie down that equipment using the L-track rails. So John was really happy and we were really proud of the setup. And now you can see where we've got our head stuck in that passenger door and we can see right into there. And there's clearly not enough beer in that head. So that's John's build. If you wanted to know more information about that, come and have a chat after that. Did I see your hand go up? No. That's a shame. Earlier this year, we had the great pleasure of attending the Overland Expo Mountain West in Colorado, USA, where we were presenting for the first time the Khufu draw system with our US distributor based out of Denver, Colorado. And the Overland Expo, if you're not familiar with it, is kind of like a four-wheel driving show, but it's more of a lifestyle party. To fill you in on why it's a lifestyle party, you're allowed to bring your dog, you can wheel your esky around with it, you camp on site, and it turns into a bit of a party after dark. So the Americans take it very, very seriously as a lifestyle, and they really get into it. So it was a real treat for us to kind of be newcomers and to be warmly welcomed into that scene. Let's see if I can get that to work. Here we go. Here's a bit of a look at our booth site in the expo. So we're on a nice little rise there, really lovely view over to the Rockies. And you can see over there, down there, you can see a lot of flags over to the left-hand side. I'll see if I can pause it here. No, I'll just go there. This is a view down into the expo proper. So all those flags there are all the exhibitors, and you think that's a lot of people exhibiting products. So the US market is growing, and a lot of people are getting into the industry of overlanding, which we would know as four-wheel driving or recreational caravan and camping. And so there's a lot of people, and Australians are getting into the market as well. So ARB are becoming commonplace, that sort of thing, and a lot of other vehicle manufacturers, especially alloy cabs as well. So a lot of good reputation to Australia's come with a good reputation over there because they consider the harsh conditions of Australia to be a good sort of testing ground for what they have. But really, it's completely different because they have a freeze and thaw cycle that would put any of our conditions to shame, and some of their roads are atrocious. We had the great pleasure of meeting the crew from Rogue Elements. They are an overlanding film company, and they are one of the only long format four-wheel driving film crews in the world. So they make really movie length four-wheel driving content on YouTube. So I highly recommend you check them out. They have four different vehicles at any one time. They have a Ram, Cummins turbocharged diesel. They've got a Gladiator on the left-hand side, and they also have a Porsche Cayenne. So you think of overlanding, you don't normally think of a Porsche, but they roll with some pretty interesting vehicles. And we had the great pleasure of installing one of our draw systems. You'll see, I'll just go back. Installing one of our Kufu draw systems alongside a decked draw system, so our direct competitor. So the Jeff here on the right-hand side was quite pleased to see that he was going to get more storage in his Ram, which was full of film crew equipment. So we got a lot of great content out of that. And if you jump on our YouTube page, you can see a little bit of that content coming out. So it was really great to meet people in the industry and to have a really good time. This is an install that I wanted to show you guys about the Kufu draw system into a 4Runner. A 4Runner is like the American version of a Prado. I only found that out through luck and happenstance. So this is Lee Hoffman, our US distributor of Kufu draw systems. And we were collaborating online one day and said, how are we going to get this draw system into the 4Runner? Because it's a really popular vehicle. Obviously, Toyota's a really reliable brand, is strong in America. And so they buy the 4Runner because it's a good wagon. They take it out on the trails. So how are we going to get this mounting platform in there? So he's an ex-architect. So he took some drawings for me, took some pictures, sent them over, emailed them. I was scratching my head and said, these look really familiar. And I went out and we've got a couple of vehicles in the lot. And I said, that's exactly like a Prado 150. So all we needed to do was send him the design files. He went down to the shop, got the laser cut parts, bent and folded. And sure enough, the chassis is exactly the same. So choosing the Toyota chassis base to base our mounting platform on was a really good decision for us because we get that crossover from Australia to the US and then obviously for the rest of the world. So we'll have a look at the installation. It's a bit quick. I'll rerun it for you. Hopefully it works. Same sort of system here. You remove the trims, remove the third row seats, and then you're back to the bare bones. You add the brackets, assemble the system. A bit like Meccano, really. Those runway brackets again. Slide the system in and attach it to the custom brackets. So that raises it up so you can get clear of the trim at the rear. Whereas on different vehicles, you don't need to do such things. You can see it raises it up by about 3 inches so you get a clearance. And then we also provide a trim which caps off that open chassis area. So you can see it's a really neat fit. So it was a real stroke of luck that we didn't have to do too much work to get that happening. So another vehicle that's quite popular in the States for full driving and overlanding is the Jeep Gladiator. They just love their Jeeps. We still haven't worked out why. But they do look pretty cool when they're all decked out. This is actually a Jeep Gladiator tub trailer that we built because we had a spare tub. And we thought, well, we're going to the Overlanding Expo. Well, let's build a trailer so we can haul all of our gear up there. So in the days that we had leading up into the expo, we installed a draw system, and similar principle as installing the mounting platform into the other vehicles. Assemble the rails. You need to mark and drill out the holes. Very straightforward manner, because all you're doing is marking the position based off the tailgate position. Drill some pilot holes. Make sure you get it centered and squared. Assemble the kits. Lay in the rails over the corrugations in the ute tub. Drop in the rail cross rails. Pack them up to get clearance. And then fasten them securely. So all up, it takes about 45 minutes because you're up and down under the vehicle, drilling a few holes, tidying up as you go. Again, a low profile, really secure mounting platform. And again, it's the same as what's in the SUV. So if you had a short draw system set up in your Gladiator, you could put those same drawers into your other vehicle. So you're not limited by having it locked away into one vehicle. You can put it in your ute, you can put it in your wagon, put it in your trailer. So at full extension, you're really getting access to what's at the back of the ute tub, whereas you would have had to have step up and go over the side. Now you can slide it out. So you can see there, I'm activating the pins on the left and right-hand side there. Slide it in, and it's safe and secure. So in this particular view here, I'll go back. It's all right. We had the great pleasure of touring around Colorado through the Rocky Mountain National Park. And so we went to this great spot. Wasn't a lot of trees around, and I didn't realize why, because we were over the tree line in the Alpine region. So this is above at 14,000 feet. So one of the only mountains you can drive up to. So we thought only fitting that we take the world's best draw system up to a really great landmark. So this is in the Forerunner. No worries. Thank you. We didn't see many mountain goats, but I'm rest assured they're there somewhere. Wonderful, wonderful place to visit. I highly recommend it. And some great fall driving out there, free camping all over the countryside. Toyotas everywhere. So there's the view down to Denver on the far left there. And here we are at the end of the show, having spoken for 3 days straight. A really great experience to go to the Overlanding show. That's Chris Umar in the middle, Fiona Umar. So Chris and Fiona Umar, I'll let you do the guesswork as to where the name of Khufu comes from. This is Lee Hoffman, our US distributor, and we had a really great time, and it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I'm going to move over to the samples here, and after we finish the meeting this evening, you can come over and have a bit of a play with that. Are there any questions? Yes?
Yeah, what are they actually fabricated out of? I noticed that they were UV stabilized. Are they a plastic of some sort?
Yeah, there's a mixed material. So they're not just one material. So the carcass of the draw system is made from composite material. So it's a polyester resin with glass fiber infill. So that makes it a really strong carcass. Aluminium rails on the outside, which do all of the joinery work. Then mild steel frames and buttress frames. So there's a lot of mixed materials. All the paint coatings and powder coatings are UV stable. So they're not going to fade. That's the main point. Yes?
With that flat loading space that you've got, particularly in John's car,
Yep.
how do you go with cargo barriers?
Yes, you can mount cargo barriers directly to the top. You'd have to get a half barrier though for that type of scenario and get some brackets to tie in down into our rails. We have a custom lock watcher which mechanically interlocks it rather than clamping to the rails. You can come and see them after.
What depth is the, sorry, what weight can you put on the floor of the drawer?
Yep. So each drawer is rated to 120 kilos. So that is in a full draw system, you get about 360 in a wagon type setup, and that can go up into a ute. You need to keep an eye on your GVM, obviously, so you don't overload it with passengers and cargo.
But what's the floor of the drawer made of?
Made of, it's fully molded polyester glass-filled resin, so it's leak-proof. So if a bottle of wine tips over in there, it's not going to go inside the vehicle. It's so nothing gets in and nothing gets out.
When you get a bit of weight in it, do you get any sag in the floor of the drawer?
No sag, no.
We've got a question online while we're waiting for the next one from the floor. Alison Hilton would like to know, do you make them for Silverados?
Of course, yeah. Because it's a universal system, they're not custom for any particular vehicle. So the 1.4 meter drawer would be really good for a Silverado. A short bed would suit really well. There'd be a bit of dead space if you had a long bed, but we'd recommend the large drawers, and then you can configure them however you want. Yes?
Yeah, question down here, mate. A 3-drawer system, 900 or 950 deep, as you said. What's the weight?
The weight, each drawer, the small drawer, I'll just grab I'll go back up a couple of slides. Let's get to a 3-drawer setup so we know what we're talking about. We'll get one that explains it. There we were. There. So this little one here is 40 kilos. That one's 47 kilos. And this one is 53 kilos. So they are on the heavy side.
About 140 kilos, round figures.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Terrific. So I'm going to move over to the samples and just give a quick rundown on that. So here we have the Khufu draw system. We'll just turn on the lights, so mind your eyes there. So each system is powered independently. We have outdoor lighting, so you can see that those task lights come on and off. If you can see inside that the internal lights light up what's inside, and the lights shut off when you close the drawer. So you know that the internal lights are no longer on. So there's full extension on the drawers. They come all the way out. And that incremental locking. So that's not going to slide away on a hillside. So you close that up. And then the catch and click system is on the side of the drawer. It's underneath here. What I'll do is I'm going to ask someone to hold the mic while I put the fridge slide on top so you can see the quick install. Alison, can I ask you to hold the mic? Laurie, there you go. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the fridge slide on top so you can see how quickly it installs. And we're in. So you're in, that's fully crash chested secured. So our fridge slide is lockable slides, full extension again. So imagine that in your vehicle, you're getting your fridge and your storage. So you can bring that back out. Laurie, take that again. So if you want to take it out at the end of the weekend, and it's out. What we'll do is we'll show you underneath here. So I've been talking about the catch tabs. They're this T-shaped tab here, and these are the catch pins. So that's how the system works. I'll pop that down. Thanks, Laurie. Thanks, everyone. I'll hang around. If you want to come and have a look and have some more questions, I'll be happy to wait for you. Thanks again to Alison and Sandra and all the guys here. Thanks for helping me out. Lovely to be here. Thank you.
There you go. Christmas is coming up, guys. Thanks, Giles. Christmas is coming up, guys. You can write that on your Santa list. I'm going to do a Vice President's report on behalf of the President. So just a first couple of little notes here. Fire restrictions are now in place at Yark, and no doubt Brian will probably talk about that shortly. Also, the 50th anniversary committee organised the cairn and the opening up at Yark, and That went pretty well, so that's excellent. We've got a couple of badges to present, and look, I mean, I wear mine with pride, and these two people have done a lot for the club, always been there just about in everything they do, and they've been around for donkey's years, a bit like me. So I'd like to call up Trax and Annette Horden for 20 years. Congratulations, Trax. There's yours. And Annette, well done, darling. There you go. Where you can get rid of those horrible other ones and just put those ones on. Congratulations. Or you can wear them both. All right. So right now we've got a video, snow play in the Rubicon, trip 1. Trip leaders were Sharon and Andy McGregor, and the video was edited by Viv Gardner. Well, that's the lifeblood of the club, isn't it? The troops, and what a great trip. Thanks to Sharon and Andy McGregor for running that trip. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. And to Viv for spending her time to put that video together. I think, you know, it takes a bit of time, and I think we should just give a big thank you to her as well. So we'll move on now to our subcommittee reports. So the first one is the driver training report, which will be done by Veronica. And then we'll present some certificates. So over to you, Veronica.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome. My name's Veronica and I'm the Assistant DA Coordinator. So Chris is happily over in Western Australia at the moment, enjoying a little bit of downtime there. So hopefully he'll be back in the new year. In the meantime, we have our last DA for the year coming up in November. So it's in a very short few weeks. And once again, we have a full complement of the trainees participating in that. The next ones won't be until next year. So at this stage, just as a bit of information, throughout 2023, so far we've had about 125 or so new trainees come through the program, plus we've also had some that have done their refresher course as well. During 2024, the new members will be completing the theory and practical components during the same month. For any new members that are looking to get their driver training ticked off, we have February, March and April now open. You can log on to the TLCCV website if your vehicle is ready, and that means if you've got your recovery points, UF radio, those sorts of things. February is filling up pretty quickly and there are only a few spaces left, but certainly March and April are still open for anybody who would like to join. If you have any questions or any difficulties with the booking system, you can contact us via the driver awareness at tlccv.com.au email. And I think that's about it.
Thank you, Veronica. Always a good job, the DA team. So give them a big thank you. Here we got Liz Mills, who's going to talk about education. Welcome aboard, Liz.
Good evening, guys. We had a great chainsaw course at beginning of the month. We had 12 people doing this and they all passed, so that's great. Unfortunately, I didn't know I was going to get the certificates until I got them this morning, but I do have them here, and the people that are here that did it, I'll hand these to now. Otherwise, we'll hand the rest of them at the next meeting. So we have Maxwell Fitzner. Now, the next one I've got here, Andrew Kent. I don't think he's here. I might give this one, I think, Alison. Alison, you know Andrew Kent? He was going to get Marcus, I think, to pick it up. Craig Walden. Warren's not here. Rodney Simmons, I don't think is here. Stephen Penzo. Hopefully we'll be a bit more lucky next month. David Pierce, I don't think he's here. Brian Medanzic's not here. Christopher Lenahan. Yes, oh, there you are. There you go. Congratulations. Peter Gooden, I don't think he's here. And Aaron Burrell, I don't think's here either. And I know Piers isn't here. He's watching on Zoom. So no, they had a great course. Luckily, the weather was fine. And they were all very impressed with four-wheel drive VIX trainers. So that was great. It sounded like a whole load of bees swarming around for the whole weekend. So there should be plenty of wood for Yark to pick up for the fires, which is great.
We've got our trip reports next, and we're going to get Sharon.
Viv unfortunately can't make it tonight, so she's asked me to stand up and say hello to everyone. Let you all know that up until about a couple of hours ago, all our trips were full, but we have had a trip put up as of this evening. It is now live on the website by Robert Duff and Alison Duff. It's a trip to the Haunted Stream and Nicholson River. It's for the 16th to the 17th of March. If anyone knows the Haunted Stream, it's 54 river crossings. So it's a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun trip. So it's just on live on the website. So if you want to go, jump on board. I have some certificates to present. The certificates themselves are with Viv, and she is putting them in the mail to the recipients. But I have shots of them up on the screen, and I'll tell everyone who it is that has done their trip leader certificates. These trip leader certificates were done in October via 2 Zoom sessions, so people could do the trip leaders course from home in the comfort of their own home, and it was done by Laurie, Heidi, Baz and Viv. So well done. Thank you very much, team, for bringing in some new trip leaders. And they are Gordon Alexander, Paul Fairley, Adam King, Robin Lau, Dale McCurdy, David Pearce, Michelle Pearce, Alex Pill, Mark Sell. Thank you very much. And any of the trip leaders that are out there, we look forward to seeing some new trips. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sharon. And isn't it great to see the trip leaders coming up and getting into the groove? I mean, these people are what this is the trips that we do are the glue that holds this whole club together. So I'd like to really congratulate those people. And is there anybody else has done the trip leaders course in the past? I mean, it's a great course. I know that Laurie does a lot of work. I know Laurie and Heidi did the one that I attended, and Baz and Viv, I know, actively involved, and a whole lot of others. So what a fabulous amount of work they put in. So thank you to everybody. Okay, we'll now call on Alison. Alison, you want to come and do the Geelong report?
We had our Geelong Christmas breakup on Saturday afternoon at Bunjil's Lookout in Maud. Had a great time, fantastic weather, lovely company. Everyone had a lovely time. If you're ever passing through that way, it's a great camp spot for free, overlooking the valley. Our December meeting will be on the 5th of December, and our January barbecue Dogs Day Out at the Yuyangs will be on Sunday, the 14th of January, and you're all welcome with your families and dogs. Thank you.
We'll now move on to the 50th Anniversary Committee report, and Sandra is going to join us online.
Thank you, Ian, and good evening, everybody. I'll be very, very quick tonight. I just wanted to give a very quick report on last Sunday, where we had, oh no, it was the weekend before, wasn't it? God, time goes fast when you're having fun. I particularly want to thank Baz and Viv Gardner, Tony and Barbara Bryant, Tony Swindon, Ian and Ellen McCartney, and Greg Edmonds. Greg actually did an interview with Graham Wilson, which the members will have the opportunity to hear hopefully in December, with some video that Laurie is kindly putting together for us. It was a beautiful day. Weather was perfect. We had a wonderful time, and it was very, very enjoyable. And Graham was really chuffed. He really enjoyed it. So thank you very much, Ian.
Great job done. And the can looks absolutely fabulous. The 50th Anniversary Committee, I think, has done an amazing job. We're going to call on Steve Smith now. Steve, I know you're here because I saw you before. You want to have a quick word about special events?
Scoresby. So we signed up 3 people. A nice thing about Scoresby is I think quite a lot of people live nearby. Probably the next special event will be 4x4 show next August. Thank you very much.
With that, I'd like to call on David Mitchell, who's going to give us a little bit of a talk about the enhancements to the club rules. So over to you, David.
Evening all. I hope this sounds all right. Yep, we're all good. Excellent. So we've been working pretty hard on this over the last month or so, because it wasn't until last month that we actually got the legal opinion back. And it's from there that we've sort of gone a million miles an hour as fast as we can to get where we are at the moment. So in summary, have some rules that clarify membership and how it works, including the rights and the entitlements. We're going to improve meetings of the club to ensure increased member involvement. We're going to improve the composition of the committee, their tenure and the election of positions. And we're going to improve the voting via the use of technology and, as a consequence, the removal of proxies. So all of that actually involves changes so far to about 23 rules. So the way we actually end up presenting this to members is going to be in blocks. We want to be able to give or concentrate on the main rules that will be changed. So there'll be the old rule and the new rule for you to have a look at. Sending it all out to the members for feedback, obviously, and then moving on to a special general meeting in the new year to get them passed. All right, well, if anyone does have any questions, I guess you know where to contact us. All right, thanks, everyone.
Well done, David. Thank you for your time tonight and giving everybody an update. All right, so we'll move on to a break. We're going to have a 10-minute break. You can all go and buy a raffle ticket.
Okay, well, 7 is the next one, 17 Ks roughly. They've got a windmill and troughs and that there infrastructure there. That mean they actually use it for their cattle? Yep. 22 Ks as the growth lies. There's another nice big flock of budgies dancing in front of me there. Righty. Thanks, Charlie. There's some nice flat ground around here, boys, with plenty of wood.
Yeah, we can always do 10 tomorrow.
Let's do it in the morning. Bloody half a ton of wood already collected. I reckon we call it, eh? It's only 8 Ks to well 10.
Yeah, let's call it.
Sounds good to me.
Morning, Mike.
Good morning, Backer.
How you going, mate?
Oh, I'm just excellent. Top of the world.
What day is it, mate?
Only because of the footy, I know it's Saturday.
And what number day of the trip is it?
Oh, yeah, you really true. 6?
Very actually.
I'm on the ball.
We're all on the ball today. We're doing well. Yes.
You're now entering the really sort of remote country, all right? So it'll start opening up. The corrugations will start.
So what do you think of the canning so far?
I'm loving it. Go to the beginning and start again.
You want to do north and south in one trip, do you?
I would love to, just don't have the time.
No, that's true.
Okay, gentlemen, welcome back to the bush. Well, today we're actually on the canning. And we're fixing, oh, it's mine. We're fixing my tyre.
Broken. Damaged.
Sorry, damaged tyre.
Basically, it'll let everyone die.
I think between all of us, we've got enough blokes.
Yeah.
Like a fungus, like a blackhead.
That's still there. That's it. Yeah, it's still there.
Bloody hell. That's. Oh, hang on. Success. Dodgy Dave's tyre repair course.
Okay, just filling suspension work over the rocks and things and thinking, yeah, the old series Land Cruisers were basically no suspension at all.
Dust, corrugations, rocks, dust, corrugations, rocks, oh, and bushes. Oh yeah, there's heaps of water in it.
Well, the good news is the tyres still up. In fact, it's gained a couple of psi.
So it's warmed up.
Yeah.
When Canning first put the well through in 1910, you know, it was only 7 years after the Wright brothers. We're about an hour behind that other party, that other convoy north of us. Now girls, we go left at the T intersection. Make sure you mark it.
Lee.
Oh, you got it through now, haven't you? Yeah, it's all good.
Oh, we'll put it through here and it just wasn't going to work.
A Nitto spare.
Right, the other side? Check it. We'll do it. Yeah, good. MW canopies.
That's better. You just feel like I'm in the high country.
Just took the thought straight out of my mind.
Fire's hot too. It's done. It's cooking.
Of course it is.
Fire ready.
Fire's going.
Starts to mess around, does he?
Today, we've got a fairly short day in terms of distance. In well 16, which is about 35, then we start to get into some escarpment country, and there's Canning's Can there up the top, which is then we're going to be off to Belia Spring, which is a turn off from the track, but only a few k's, and quite a good spring. You can walk up there, there's some rock art and stuff there. And then off to Derby Springs, which is, as the crow flies, is only about 35 k's from here, but you know, it's still going to be most of the day before we get there.
We're going to be at Canning's Can soon, so I'm pretty sure we're right. Unless they're coming south, yeah, we'll give them a call. Thanks. Camel tracks around here on the sand. Fresh.
Okay, so with that, I'd like to call up Brian Stewart to do the Arc Management Report, please.
Right, this coming weekend, there's going to be plenty to do in preparation for the upcoming fire season. Fire restrictions come into force on the 27th of November. I'm not sure when they finish, but I believe it's going to be about May when they finish. And the club also has some of our own fire restrictions, which is no fires to be lit on the property during this total fire, or not, it's not a total fire ban, it's the fire restrictions period. And also, you've got to leave the property if it's a total fire ban day. It's at any time of the year. There will be a sign stating this just inside the second gate, so you can't not miss it. Yes, Sharon.
I'd just like to clarify what you were saying. No fires on the property. You said no fires on the property outside of any buildings.
Outside of the hut. Yeah.
Yep. So you can still have fires in the Hilton and in the hut.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Thanks for that, Sharon. Our work continues with the tree removal as is required by our permit conditions, which was part of the multi-purpose construction. Some of the areas that will be tackled will be the entry track, the rocky approach to the Hilton, Latimers, some work in Whoopsie, down Garvey's Gully, and the big challenge is the water crossing. And as this will be our last scheduled maintenance construction weekend until January, we need to ensure that everything is ready for members' use over the holiday period. So if you do spend some of your time up there over that period at our resort, please take care and enjoy. It's good to see that there are 10 new members who have registered for this coming weekend. So that'll be really great. It's a great introduction to the club, so to get to know a little bit about the property and also the people who look after the place. So yeah, come up there and assist with the regular team. These folks that keep coming up, they just keep giving their time and their expertise, and they're really great people to work with, and they're good. Come up there and enjoy it. So we're just hoping that you get up there for this weekend. We might have a few surprises for the weekend too. So come along and enjoy it. So now Neil's going to give you an update on our bushfire emergency plan.
Just so people may or may not know, I'm on the 2025 committee, the Arc Management, and also the club committee. By all accounts, this bushfire season that we're about to confront, if you look at what's happened in all the other states, there's been some horrible events in Western Australia and in New South Wales with a lot of loss of life and property, and we won't be exempt. I went up to the Arc Reserve when they had the emergency response day there, and I was fortunate enough to see a demonstration by the CFA. They have a digital unit where they can forecast how a fire will spread, and they use this for training. And they set this up deliberately, showing what would happen if there was a lightning strike up above the Arc Township. On a normal summer's day, 25 degrees and roughly a northwesterly wind. And within a space of 5+ minutes, almost 10 minutes, 500 acres of bushland was burnt out. And at that stage, the Arc CFA team was still on their way to the fire. So it really, for those of us in the Arc committee that were there, it really put the wind up us as to what could possibly go wrong up there. So when the demonstration finished and we remained and the rest of the public moved out of the room, we asked the fellow, okay, now rejig your map to show our property. And there it came up, large as life, with all our tracks, all our buildings. And the local CFA captain said, okay, now if the lightning strikes up near the Terrap Gate, you better bloody get out of there straight away. Don't pack up your tent or your van, just get out, because it'll come rushing down through our gullies and you'll be trapped. So we do have a bushfire emergency management plan document. It goes to 7 pages. It's on our website. It is 4 years old. It's meant to be updated every year to make certain all the contact details are correct, that phone numbers for the YARC CFA, et cetera, We're in the process of updating that, and it will be on the website. And we'll be making mention of this at every club meeting all through the fire season and on our weekend wrap and in our magazine. That's it. Thank you.
We've got a social report now, and I think Gabby's doing that.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Thank you. On behalf of the two gorgeous lady, Grace and Helen, thank you very much. I'm reading the report they wrote me. It says the Oaks Day they had at the Mulgrave Country Club was a fantastic day, apparently. The boys call it Blokes Day. We enjoyed an amazing lunch. Some of us participated in the fashion. On the field, champagne, horse betting, high tea, great atmosphere and a great company. Fantastic. Which all contributed to an enjoyable day for all. And thank you for those who have already registered for our Christmas break-up lunch at the Fairfield Boathouse. If you haven't checked it out, if you haven't registered, look it up, put your name down. It'll be good. And that will be on the 3rd of December. They are accepting registration until the last minute. If you wanted to come, there's not a problem. So that's the club next function. Okay, have a look at the website and put your name down and come along. And a reminder to register your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, next-door children, next-door grandchildren, okay, for the annual Christmas picnic, okay, which normally run at Norton Park, which is around the corner. Santa apparently is coming, like usual, and he will give the kiddies some special treats. They'll go home very hyped up. They'll be fine. And there will be games, prizes, and fun for all to have. Remember, just BYO lunch, picnic, can bring extra. If you can't eat it, I'll help you out. That's all this piece of it extra from me, so don't worry. Okay, so just get on the website, register the kids up to 12 years old, but everybody is welcome to come. But kiddies up to 12-year-old, they will get a special treat from Santa. And everybody enjoy it. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. And we're just going to get a brief report from Bill Black about the four-wheel drive. Vic, I think it was their AGM on Monday.
Well, good evening, one and all. Firstly, I'd just like to say it's pleasing to see a number of people here this evening that I haven't seen at the club for some time, and I think that's a great thing. On behalf of your club, John Mills, Andy McGregor and myself in person, Alison Williams, Peter Birchall and Marcus Kunath via Zoom, attended the annual general meeting of Four Wheel Drive Victoria. The normal reports were delivered, and importantly, the Treasurer's report indicated that the organisation has a sound financial position. And if anyone knows how to read one of those reports, come and tell me what happened. Two motions on notice were before the meeting. The first was an amendment to the rules of the Four Wheel Drive Vic Association to better manage the occurrence of casual vacancies on the board. And I imagine we could possibly be doing this with our committee casual vacancies or potential casual vacancies. This was sensibly resolved in favour of the motion. Now, basically, it says if there's a vacancy on the board, an election can be held for a person to fill that vacancy, but that person only fills that position until the end of that term of office. They can restand, but it brings it in. We don't get out of kilter. People stay in the rhythm and in the routine. And I think Eric explained that to us last month. The second motion was to formalise the setting of the increases of the annual fees to the clubs. The motion was presented to the meeting in writing, of course, as it should be. There were 2 amendments to the proposed motion and they were carried. And the final resolution was that the annual 4-wheel drive affiliation fee be increased by not more than the Melbourne Consumer Price Index calculated as at March each year, then rounded to the nearest whole dollar. This to be added to the annual affiliation fee. Now, one of the amendments was that they were going to round it always upwards from the dollar. And that was knocked on the head, which wasn't all that big. They'll win some, they'll lose some. And the other wording was to put in there the phrase not more than the CPI, which really then gives them a little bit of room to manoeuvre, because if it says by the CPI, then that's what you're doing. If it says not more than the CPI, they've got some room to manoeuvre. In general business, there was a discussion about dual or multiple club memberships and the double membership payment, which goes to 4-wheel drive Vic. The other issue that came up in general business was people may be aware there's a proposal for 4-wheel drive Victoria to go into partnership with Land Rover, LROC, Land Rover Owners Club, and to purchase a property for the purposes of housing 4-wheel drive Victoria as a home and a building where clubs can conduct their annual meetings, committee meetings. That finishes that bit. If you have been, thank you for listening.
All right, so with that, I'd like to move on to the digital media report. Laurie.
I haven't got a lot to say, just a couple of things. Today was extremely busy, and it's good that it was busy, but it had a lot to do with tonight. We had people wanting to have PowerPoint presentations and putting them all together. And Sharon, I know it was my fault that you didn't get notified very late, so it wasn't your fault, but 5 o'clock she sends me stuff and says, can I have this on the screen? We got it done, so I'm pleased to get that done. It's the thing I like about doing the website is I always get challenges. We've had a few challenges this week. One we had yesterday, some of you would have seen a post on Facebook, and it was put up there by Anonymous, and I had a chat with all our moderators, and 4 of us came to the agreement that if it's a closed group, and if people aren't prepared to disclose who they are, we will delete the post. As from our perspective, people have a right to know who's putting things up. The other point about the Yark bushfire plan is that we were actually just looking on the website to see where it is. It's in there under 2 sections, and there's 2 different documents. So yes, they do need to be updated. That's about all I wanted to cover tonight. Does anyone have any questions? No. Oh, thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to a video, trip 2. Trip leaders again, Sharon and Andy McGregor, with the video edited by Viv Gardner.
Wow.
Sorry.
I'd like to thank you all for bearing with me tonight, and Peter will be back next month. And all right, thanks, folks. Love you all. Good night.